And when you open my cabinets now in my kitchen,
Our kitchen?
and that's what I was kind of waiting for you to say. It's like matchy-matchy today.
I know, we're twinsies. This is my new uniform. I feel like I'm turning into you. I just don't know what to wear when I come to the office anymore.
Oh, really? Well, you chose you chose wisely. You
I'm
chose
wearing
wisely.
the company icon.
So actually, you know what things
Oh my
I love?
gosh.
What?
No, go ahead. I just
I
love another
love
funny
your
story.
earrings and how you match them
To my shirts.
sometimes.
You got me
I
these.
feel I did. Actually, those you had
These
an
were a
original
replacement.
pair.
I know. So
You
I
left
went.
them on a vacation.
I did. I actually
and you were
still,
so upset.
So I had
And they were like real ones.
blue topaz earrings from New Mexico. I bought them there. I always try to buy something when I travel somewhere that one I'll use. Like I'm not like I'm gonna get a shot glass to every location. Like I hate shit in the hot. Like that's so.
I know. When I was
I'm
younger,
gonna
I
get a
did do the
tiny-
shot glass. I didn't even
No.
drink, and I would get shot glasses where I went.
No, people are like, I'm going to get a Starbucks cup in every place. It's like, what are you doing with your every state, Starbucks mugs? Like, what are you doing?
You know
with
what's
them?
interesting is that throughout my life, if I would have opened up my kitchen thing, I would have had like all these mixed match things, nothing in line. And when you open my cabinets now in my kitchen,
Our kitchen?
and that's what I was kind of waiting for you to say. When we open our cabinets, I feel like I'm in a department store. Like
Stop.
everything, what are you talking about? Everything's lined up. It's perfect. It's like, okay, well, which glass type would I like today? We have tall and slender. We have short and stout. We have.
That's how most people's kitchens are,
No,
I'm sure.
no. Trust me, I've been in a lot of people's kitchens and they do not look like our kitchen.
Well, I like things to be orderly. But anyway, I don't like, the stuff. But I do get things when I travel to different locations that I love. And so I had gotten those blue topaz earrings from New Mexico. And then I did. I took them off, put them on a nightstand in a hotel when we were in San Francisco. And I knew where they were. I called the hotel to see if they were there. But
And they're like, no one left them here.
Yeah.
They were pocketed by the cleaning lady.
Of course.
I don't know how many chargers I have left behind.
I know, a lot.
And that's why I keep an emergency backup cord in my backpack because I'll forget that and then you're SOL.
Yeah.
And then you're buying a $40
Oh, the
cord
charger. I know, they're
in
so
the
expensive.
airport.
Yeah, exactly. in the
when they're
airports.
like $1 on Amazon.
I know, it's crazy.
Oh, gosh, it ticks
okay,
me off
so
so
speaking of Amazon, funny story.
Oh, do we have an answer to this?
So this morning, Chris comes upstairs and he's like,
Okay, first of all, there was an early morning package delivered at 4 a.m. and it was addressed to you. And I was like, what is this? And here's the thing. Most of the time I don't really open up a lot of your packages.
that's true, you don't.
I don't. But sometimes when I want to get the trash out,
Yeah.
I open them up downstairs
So you can throw away
so that I can throw the trash away and then
just
just
give
bring
me
the
the thing.
object upstairs.
Yeah.
And because we haven't talked, as no one's birthday's near or anything like that, I just thought it was, I actually, you know what I thought it was? I thought it was a pepper scarf because it was so thin.
Oh, yeah.
So I opened it up and it was pipe cleaners.
Yeah. Pipe cleaners.
Go.
So, so I am like baffled. So I'm searching. I'm like, no, I didn't order those. And he's like, well, it's addressed to your name, to our address. So I was like, okay. And it's in an Amazon bag. It's
It
not.
is. It's legit.
It's not random. It is the Amazon branding bag. And I'm like, what in the world? So I'm like Googling. I looked at all of our orders. I share an account with my dad. My dad didn't order them. Like, whatever. Because I can see like our order history. And I find the product on Amazon and I'm like, this is so strange. So I see that Amazon has a lot of fraud. And this is not the first time something weird has happened with like a delivery.
Yeah, we had computers delivered to the house.
We had laptops delivered to the
Full-on
house.
laptops, 3 of them.
So strange.
So strange.
And not only that, but you had gotten a call from FedEx that was like, we're having trouble delivering these to the address.
Yeah.
That was so wild.
We were the return address for these
Yes.
laptops, and they used an account created by one of our entities.
Someone in like Washington. Anyway, we tracked that down and it was so weird. It was like
So
someone
weird.
in Washington.
By the way, we've gotten like 10 bills.
For that?
Yeah. And they're all like 40, 50 bucks.
No way.
Yeah. I just throw them in the trash.
Oh my God. It's so annoying. You need
Yeah.
to deal with it. But anyway, so today it was not in our Amazon account. So there is a place in Amazon where I looked online and it was like sometimes people will get access to your information. And if they do, then sorry, got a message. You distracted me because you looked over at it. I am completely brain dead.
You got distracted. Amazon has a lot of fraud.
Yeah. So I
I'm
filed
actually paying attention today.
I filed a report. I filed a report with Amazon and said this is a fraudulent order. Someone got my information and put the tracking or whatever into the thing so I could report it. So my mom and dad come over to watch the baby so I can come into the office today.
Yes.
And I was like, Dad, it's so weird. I was like, I saw you. I was like, you didn't order these, did you? I was like, I looked in the order history, but you didn't order them. And he goes, no. He's like, but Nick, my brother-in-law, was looking for pipe cleaners the other day. And I was like, how weird is that? That something Nick was
Your
looking
sister
for.
ordered them and had them delivered to us.
Yes. So, but I'm still dumb. And I go, that's so strange that I get a fraud order for pipe cleaners when it's something Nick was just talking about. And my dad was like, no, Becky, I think they might have ordered them to your address. So I called my sister. I was like, did Nick order pipe cleaners? And she was like, no, I did. And I was like, oh, she goes, I forgot to tell you. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
I was like, they're here, you know.
That is so bizarre.
It was so funny.
Because it wasn't a gift or anything like that. It was addressed to you.
They
Which
need
makes
it.
sense because I have juice in my Rolodex on Amazon to deliver packages to them, which we need to update their address because I've shipped things there that are
to the wrong
old
place.
stuff. Yeah.
But I have the updated address. But anyway, it was just funny because my sister is in town visiting and I guess they use it to clean their daughter's cups. And I was like, well, we have pipe cleaners. And she's like, well, I asked mom and dad the other day and they didn't have pipe cleaners. So mystery solved.
Okay.
The pipe cleaners were.
That's good.
Yes,
you know
from my
what? And I'm
sister.
surprised that didn't pop into my head. Like, we should call your sister. Maybe they had something delivered here.
No, didn't even think about it. It was
yeah,
very, but what a
because they-
strange thing to receive.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. It was like, what is this?
I know.
It's so weird.
And it was funny. Speaking of her daughter, so she's 3 and she created a picture for, and we talked about how clean our
Oh my
kitchen
gosh,
was.
yeah.
So the 3-year-old made like a picture for the baby, Abigail. And my sister was like, you better, she knows how I am. She's like, you better hang that on your fridge and make it look all nice. And, da, da, da. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so they were coming over for dinner last night and I did hang it up. And I said to you, do we have any magnets? And the only magnet we could find
It was a Yeti.
was the top of a
a
Yeti.
Yeti slider. It's so ghetto.
So they
You know what we
came
should-
over and we
you know
had
what we
the
should do to be
Yeti holding
funny?
up the picture.
We should, get some like blue masking tape, painter's tape, and just
Okay.
paint and like tape the picture on there. Kind of like and like really bad, like where it looks horrible.
That would just be a crime to us. I don't
Oh,
think
I know, but it'd
anybody
be
else-
funny because we would never do that.
No,
You know what I mean?
No, I'm not
Like-
gonna, and I'm not gonna do that.
Okay,
I'm not
all right.
putting painter's tape on.
Are
our
you going to
fridge.
put as your child gets older? Are you going to
No,
put
I
anything on the fridge?
I don't think so.
Do you ever see those things where they have like these? It's like don't throw away your kid's stuff, and it's like a frame that goes on the wall that lifts up, and then you put the newest thing underneath it with some elastic bands, and put the frame back down, so you can kind of easily change out your kid's art.
We can just take a picture and like show them later.
Really, I was thinking we put it on the hallway, kind of going up, so it would be like their art wall.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I'll tell you what. Just oh my god.
What?
Yeah. This is why my mom's comment of not all of us can live in a show house, Chris. What is that? What she said? How did she say it?
That's pretty close.
That's pretty close.
I didn't like the comment.
I
but
know, and it's because we don't have things like kids' pictures. on the
I have a
wall.
picture of our daughter on the wall right now.
We have one picture on the wall.
I put it up.
We're like
It's
We're like Better
nice.
Homes and Gardens. Like you walk in our house, she's like, "Oh my god, it's so dirty. The vase is out of order."
Shut up. I'm not that bad.
Okay. For those of you listening that know us personally and are in our lives, would you please text and just say, yes, you are, or no, you're not? I just need to know. I need to know. Text us both.
Bree
take votes.
will respond. And Bree, I already know you're going to say yes, she is, which I'm not that bad.
I'm pretty sure everyone is. So I'm going to get a dozen texts.
Whatever.
So,
It's fine.
anyways, I'm really glad that we got to the bottom of the Amazon package. That's
Yeah,
really
that was
cool.
my funny story.
And
I
so
wish
we
I could
actually
tell you
got started
person.
late today. We were actually given a demo. 2 things happened. We went over on the demo. We launched our new Kaloop product this week. So yay. Woo. And it is a product for community CAM managers and board members and property managers to communicate. And so I am super excited to showcase that. And one of the things I wanted to talk about really quickly, because I like to talk about business stuff, is getting feedback, like early feedback. So like we're actually delayed like 6 months from launching. And part of the
A
reason
software
is,
product.
yeah. And the reason is that we went to market with the first version and it just wasn't enough. Like there was excitement, but it was like, we're trying to like put out real fires and this is a nice to have, but not a need to have. And so I went back to the drawing board and what the original feature set was. I was like, you know what? We're just going to launch with the original feature set. So we had to get to the holidays and Christmas and programming and code. And we added 2 huge features into this, which I really love. And we just gave this demo and the person's like, I love all this, but I really need community RFP, which is one of the features in here. And I'm like, oh, that's launching in July. So I'll set up. But she's like, I'd love a demo and to sign up. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll set up a demo for June. And so she's talking all about it and I'm taking notes. Like, I'm like, okay. And I've already formulating when we get out of this meeting, I'm literally we have a product in front of it. And although I know it's important and everything else, no one's requested that product for a feature yet. So I'm going to literally swap the 2 products because one, this product's actually going to be a little bit easier to create. And so my goal is to get it, into the platform as soon as possible. So all I'm trying to share is that like, getting people's feedback, early feedback, and then using that feedback to make the changes that we need to onboard people.
Yeah, no, it's super important. And we've talked about this, I'm sure, in the past, but perfection is the enemy of progress. Is that the quote?
That is a really good.
And I'm amazed that I got that right. But it is true that if you sit there and you try to make something perfect, you might never get to market or you wait so long to launch it.
Yeah, we have clients like that too.
I mean, the market could change, from when you initially started building it, like wants and needs could change, things around you could change, expectations and other tools that have been built that like kind of set the standard even higher and you're, continuing to build based off of an initial concept. We were actually talking at dinner the other night when we went out for sushi, you and another local entrepreneur, Rich, who we love, and is like in the AI world right now. We were laughing because you guys come up with some of these concepts as entrepreneurs and you're such early adopters.
Oh yeah.
That it takes time. And Rich was joking and he was like, by the time everybody comes on board and adopts it, he's like, I'm bored with that. I worked on that for 3 years, 5 years ago. And like, I'm not here for it.
No, that's the story of our lives.
Yes.
Like we jump on these things, we bring them to market, we bring this, and everyone's like, what? Like they don't even know.
They can't digest it. And you're like, this is going to be something. I know it's going to be something. I'm interested in it. And so you like kill yourself to make it happen and it doesn't happen for you. And then 2 years later, it's like the biggest thing. And you're like, well, I was a little too early in that game. But it is so important. It's like you get feedback from people. And to your point, sometimes the idea of adoption is like, hey, I don't need this yet. But as the market continuously changes around you or competition starts to create something that's similar, then all of a sudden it does start to gain those early adopters that then turns into like something that's habitual for a large portion of the market. And then there's lots of adopters and it's so risky to be an early adopter too. Like that's a certain personality that you need to find of somebody that's like, I'm going to try this when they know it's not something that everybody else is using. The majority of the time, someone who's going to use your product is someone who knows that that's something they either need, versus a want, or that everybody else is doing it. So they're like, oh, well, we better get on board,
Exactly. Yeah, no. And right now I literally have 8 features that I'm trying to launch and it's all really about like, what is the right order to launch them for the business and what's going to bring revenue the quickest.
Well, and I think it's important to a lot of times, even if it's a feature or functionality that you're planning on launching, software, tech in general is huge, but you need to get people using it. Like you might think it's anything down from like the placement of the buttons inside of like an application or like what questions you're asking first versus second, what's required, what's not, what is their process. As much as you think you know something about people's intuition of how they would like move through a platform, you really don't. And sometimes that's why a lot of times like Google or Amazon just changes things. They don't care anymore. They're like, you're going to use our app no matter what, and we're going to make changes and whatever.
Well, that's not true.
Okay.
Because at any given time, they probably have 30 versions of the app live. And what you're getting is a
Is
version
a version
that they're testing.
They're testing it, but
So
they
yes,
turn it
they
on.
gave you that button,
Yeah.
and they want to see, do you push that button?
And I don't,
And
by
it's
the way.
amazing, by the way, how often the app changes for me.
Well, it does change a lot. But what I was going to say is like a Google or an Asana, which is a project management tool, they oftentimes say, there's a new version. Would you like to go over into that version? And you can go over and beta the new version before they force it.
Before they force it.
Before they force it. You typically, and that's just a soft launch of something to allow for those people who don't like change to be, adopting.
I don't think it's for that. I think it's for them to
work
have
out the
some
kinks.
users that test the new thing.
Exactly. And then they might make changes before it goes
Right,
live.
absolutely.
Well, and that's exactly it.
You know, I can't wait for the day. When you get to that point where you can start doing some really good A/B testing and getting feedback, I mean, your company is very mature.
You also have to be in the right mindset as a user to do it, because what I was going to say is oftentimes you can say, yeah, you know what, I'll try the new version. And if it's affecting my workflow because I'm trying to figure out where something is that I used to know so well, it gives you the option to revert back. And I cannot tell you how many times I've been like, not today, revert, like get me back to my old version so I can just move on with my life.
And they're counting that and they're going, man, we fucked up. This is
Yeah,
not as
they're
easy.
like, okay, why did they revert?
And so they're trying to, tweak.
And then they'll
it.
ask you, why are you going back to the old version? What happened? You know,
And
which
you
is
just say,
super
I'm
smart.
lazy to find things.
I am too lazy.
I'm too lazy.
It's a not today issue.
It's like options. I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy.
No, but it's really great to capture that feedback. And there are some incredible tech companies that do it well.
Well, I'm looking forward to the day that we can actually offer
different live versions.
Absolutely. I
Absolutely.
feel like we've made it then,
Heck yeah.
But we've hired a couple people for our Colute product. I'm really excited. It's probably the most all in on a product that we've done here at the new office, other than our core business of software. I would say Dusted was the one that we went all in on, and then this is the next one that we've kind of gone all in on by bringing on team members and then also investing in like
We went all
trade
in on
shows
Stay
and this
Cool
and that. I don't know. Like, yes, we're all in. It's operating. It's going on. I think if you saw the list, the Jira list of all the tickets to improve,
Right,
you'd be
okay.
like, we're not all in.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. But speaking of Dusted, you announced last time that there was like a new product that you were so excited about.
I am. I'm extremely
you didn't
excited
announce it,
because,
so you just-
and the reason is because I don't know. Have we shared this with?
What are you talking about? With who?
With the G man.
Who?
There's only one person with the G in our life.
My father.
I wasn't going to say that, but yes. Did you share that? Does he know?
I don't know.
Well, I wanted it to be a surprise for him.
Oh,
That's why I was going to wait
Jerry,
till this week.
Daddy.
Jerry. I
Daddy-o.
wanted him to see it on the company huddle,
Oh,
which was supposed to be yesterday, but because a lot
You
of
know
our
what?
we have
Dad,
five.
we're launching a seasoning. It's called blackened.
Thanks. You just ruined. You didn't give me the choice just now to make a decision.
Because you kept talking about it and the huddle had moved. So
All right. So
I made a decision for you.
We had actually talked. I think we had talked about like our mahi and the dishes we'd have, but a lot of times I feel like I probably get about 2 hours of work in a night when I'm dreaming, and so like I like dream work and like business, and I love it. Well, I got to thinking. We'd had a couple nights of blackened seasoning at the house, and then I thought to myself,
Well, and what he means by that is I like to make my own.
you make your own seasoning there. And you can buy blackened seasoning.
We had chicken,
It's
we had
usually
fish,
small
and we
little
had
things
shrimp.
in the store.
We were just like on a blackened kick.
We're on a little blackened kick, and our entire Dusted is predicated off of this concept that you can order chicken, fish, and shrimp blackened. It's the only seasoning you'll order in a restaurant by name. And when you order red meat, you just pray to sweet baby Jesus that it comes seasoned the way you like it. So we created Dusted,
baby
which is a way to order red
Jesus.
meat. And so we are having difficulty getting into the restaurant area. Like we're with a couple people, and we're not getting any type of impact or out there. And so what I thought is that what if we create and I can't think of
A
the
blackened seasoning.
Well, no, it's what I want to say is that
The loss
a lot of
leader.
times if you take a product and you associate it with another product, you basically get by association a lift, right? And it validates your product because you're associated with another product. So I thought, what if we created blackened seasoning and sold that, and then we sold it alongside dusted, and we basically said, hey, this is blackened, you know it really well, and then here's dusted for your red meats.
And then they try them both.
And then right, and so we could start getting the orders in through that.
Like blackened is already on their menus, so they just find what they like, and they're like, okay.
And so now we validate the dusted product by aligning it with the blackened product. And so that was the thought process. And so within a day, I basically asked you to create your formula, put it in writing. We ordered the stuff, we mixed a batch. It sucked.
And by the way, when I'm making my own seasoning, I'm like little bit of this, little bit of that. Like I'm just like putting it on the chicken and whatever. And he's like, I need exact amounts. And I was like, okay, well, I'll work on that.
Did you save chicken last night to do it?
No.
Oh, I knew you wouldn't. You're all talk there. You literally were like, I have 4 pieces of chicken. I'll set one aside. And I was like, can you just cook it at the same time because you're already cooking? You're like, no, I will do it tomorrow. And then you used up all the chicken on your meal last night.
Yeah, because it was just easier. I thought I'll buy chicken with the intent of making blackened chicken.
Okay, well, let's do that today because we basically the first version we weren't happy with. She said, I really think it needs this, this, and this. I went back. We remixed the whole batch again, added what you thought.
Yeah.
I tried it on a pork chop, and I was like, it's pretty damn good. And so now I'm ready to put it on some chicken and see if it's got the kick that you want.
I need to be the
All the new labels are designed. The labels shipped. Literally, I got Maria on duty. Literally Tuesday morning, Maria's on like photo shoot duty. She's going to rephoto the blackened because we updated the labels there.
Yeah.
We're gonna,
no, dusted.
I'm sorry, dusted. And then we got the new blackened. And I told her, I was like, look, I'm posting on Amazon Tuesday night. Like the product's going up on the websites. It's going up.
This is the thing, you guys. This man, I mean, and that's fine. He lit a fire under my ass to like get it done. But he like had a dream one night, and now we're about to put a product on Amazon a week later. And I literally told him, I was like, I need to figure out like what the measurements are because I do just eyeball it and like taste it and see, and it's different every time. And he was like, no, and I said, give me a week, and he's like, I need it by Friday. This was last week, and now, and then I gave it to you that day because I was like, oh, he's not going to get off my ass about this. So
yeah. And I had it mixed by Friday, ready to go.
I know. And then I was like, no, it's not right.
And now here's the thing. And most people don't know that, we're probably on our 4th or 5th recipe in iteration in dusted as we've tweaked the recipe and listened to people coming back. And the same thing's going to happen with blackened. You're going to try it and be like, oh, I think we do better. And be like, okay, well, the next batch can be better.
It's what we were just talking about with feedback.
But this one, it's feedback. I love the feedback that we're getting.
This is the feedback loop.
It is the feedback.
We're circling back around to the same concept.
We're doing it in everything we have.
Yeah, it's true. It's any product. It could be a product. It could be a service. It could be a software.
Absolutely.
I mean, those are really, it's like tangible goods or.
This the other day, a few days ago, I needed to be home for you to go to Pilates, and we had a client who really wanted a third air conditioning, and he wasn't sure where he was going to get it from. Our client, the AC company, wanted to have it. Said that he was going to get it, but he wasn't sure if it was coming from us or someone else. Anyways, because we believe in customer service, I was like, and Brandon was out on another delivery. I was like, I will go ahead and.
Is that where Brandon was? Because I was going to ask you.
Yeah, he was on a delivery. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, everyone, I almost missed Pilates due to his
with your sister.
Fantastic customer service.
Anyway, customer service. That's what pays the bills.
I have a specific machine that I like to get on every single time.
And you're that person.
Of course I am.
Oh gosh. And you know what? It's like church people. Church people have like areas they sit in and like they like give you the stank eye. They're like, you're in my pew, you're in my seat. And like the other families are like, oh, our friends, the McCullens live there, sit there. The Smiths, that's
people
their
do
spot.
that.
Oh,
I'm not,
heck yeah.
I'm not a.
Oh gosh, you get the stank eye, and it's when you're new. When you're new.
This reminds me.
And then people are looking like, oh, they're in our seats, and then the kids are like, oh, they're in our seat. It's like
our sister-in-law. Her mom has a vacation home on the beach in Michigan, and she says she's like these families. I mean, we're talking like generations of generations. They have specific spots on the beach, and like there's no nothing's blocked off. It's public beach access, but like it's this little area where all these people live in their houses, and they literally are like, I don't know their last names, but it's like the Smiths have that area and they've had it for the last 20 years.
Yes.
And I guess if someone like is sitting in someone else's spot, like the locals will be like, hey, I'm really sorry that you don't know how things work here, but the Smiths sit here. And so you would be that guy that would be like, do they?
Oh, I am
do
that
they,
guy.
Do they own the property?
When we go to
Is it,
when there's guests at
you're
our
the
lake place,
worst.
I literally come up, and usually it's really for the people who bring glass to the beach, because we have a no glass bottle on the beach, which is obviously there to protect.
Well, you're the
everyone.
person that would tell someone to move if they were in your spot, but you're also the person that if you were in someone else's spot, you'd be like, "What are you gonna do?
No, that is not true.
How are you gonna move me?"
That is not
You'd
true.
be like, "Get a
if someone
crane,
comes
I
up
am-"
and is really nice to me, I would move.
Bull.
No, that's no.
You were fishing 10 feet outside of an area. 10 feet
That's
you had
totally
to
different.
walk over. No, I've been fishing here in Sarasota.
I've been fishing here for 15
I'm not
years.
moving 15 feet over. Lifeguard who's just doing your job.
I know.
Sorry. So what were you saying?
That is not the case.
Oh,
that
my
is
God.
totally different.
Okay.
Okay,
Explain.
that was a couple who had the entire beach to sit in and decided to sit where I was fishing.
No.
Yes. And the lifeguard was like, "Oh, you need to be on the left side of the buoy." And it's literally like 10 feet away. And I go,
The
"Really, bro?"
lifeguard came over to you and told you were in the wrong spot. The woman gave you the stank eye because you were rude to the lifeguard doing his job.
Right. Well, anyway,
'Cause you
I told that
refused
lady
to
how it
move.
was. And her husband was like, "Oh gosh, I'm sorry for my wife."
No.
Yes, that is
No.
that is the face that he
No.
had. "I'm really sorry. I have to apologize for her. She's just out of control." I'm like, you better muzzle her. Like it was like, oh, it was.
Don't say that.
She was very mean and rude to me.
You were being rude, and she was
No.
like, all he did
I
was
was
ask you to
fishing.
move.
Every fisherman knows. Leave us alone.
Oh my God.
Leave us alone.
Anyway,
I'm fishing.
you're just proving my point.
I'm actually super excited. I'm taking the day off tomorrow, which I do not take the day off very often.
Well,
my
you're-
brother-in-law's in
you're
town, and I'm
oftentimes-
going fishing with him.
Yes. You're oftentimes not in the office, but it's because you've got like meetings and things.
Yeah.
Meetings.
Meetings.
Yeah. You guys are going fishing tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we are.
Which I'm on baby duty, but honestly, I mean, it's so early. It's like the day hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, and we're gonna do a lot of cast netting.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're pretty good at that.
It was.
The one day we went to the beach and you did cast netting, we caught like,
Oh, I caught like piranha. They were like
what
huge.
was that?
They were. They
Not
were
piranha.
juvenile.
Not sunfish.
Golly, I can't think of the name of them. Juvenile somethings.
Yeah. I can't remember. But what were you going to say? Gone. It's gone.
It's gone. I'm looking forward to it. I'm taking the day off tomorrow, so it's gonna be fun. So I think I deserve it. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. When he did come home the other night and I went to Pilates, I went with my sister. And so he watched the baby, but then he was like, the very next night, he was like, okay, so tomorrow we're going out, the boys. You know, we're like, we're doing this every other thing right now.
Yeah.
So then my mom was like, well, I want to go out to lunch with just the girl. And we're like literally tit for tat with the baby watching. Because there's
well, you know what?
No, it's been great.
I really wanted to go out with Nick, and I don't get a chance to do that very often. And they're here for so long. I was like, why can't we, just go out and have a little hangout time and stuff? And I had a great time with Nick. I love Nick.
Yeah, Nick's great. He's very good.
I think we were lucky to have each other.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Like, when you marry into a family, you just don't know what you're going to get.
You don't. That is the truth.
And so I think we have great spouses, and I think that each other, we're good people. So it's like we get along, like it's great. I really like him.
No, it is nice to have someone that you enjoy being around. I think we're both very lucky.
Well, it's the same thing
You have a
at
great
the
family.
office. As we add people to it, like the liveliness of our office is increased, right? As we keep getting more people.
I know it has.
We
he's
can kind of
looking over
plug
at
in
Maria.
and be like, and it's all quiet when you're not. But as you get more and more people are, headphone off, and it's like, okay, 'cause now you have like a lot of people who are just
I
hanging out
love
and
the
talking.
social aspect of an
And
office.
because Matt and Heidi are working together, on our Kahoot project, they're talking a lot. You
Yeah,
know?
good.
And so it's adding this like
Other
noise that we
dynamic.
typically don't actually have. Literally, the most talking is like Megan and me, like across, like
Right.
And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she's doing the like this, you know,
To get your
Yeah,
attention?
and then I'm like,
Does
pull my
she do
headset.
that?
Well, she shouldn't do that. I'm just being, animated.
No, I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Someone's got to get your
I know,
attention.
yeah.
Well, no,
but then
literally.
I do the same thing to Maria because Maria's further away, and I'm just like, and I can only see like her head, but see, she keeps one like earmuff off at all times.
Nine times out of 10, when I'm leaving the office, I literally like waved everyone. I'm like, bye, guys. Everyone in the office goes, bye, have a great day. And 4 minutes later, he's either calling me on my phone or he's out in the parking lot going, you didn't say bye.
Right. It's because
And
I'm
I'm
listening.
like,
My music is so
dude.
loud, and it's like, and I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, like so. I'm like literally like jamming to some hardcore thing, and
you just sounded
that's
like
that's
a
why
wolf,
Megan
like
has
eating.
to.
Yeah,
do
no,
the visual.
definitely. That's what I'm saying. I understood where she
I
was coming
tell
from.
everyone in the office, if you want to talk to me, Slack me because I'll hear the ping and
in
you
your
know,
ear.
Yeah, I'll hear the ping
Yeah.
and then I'll see it pop up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And
I used to hate that. It's like when you're sitting, I worked in an office where someone was like, if I've got my headphones on, I'm concentrating. And if you need me, send me an email or a message and I'll get back to you when I can. And I'm like, bro, you're 2 feet away from me. If I need you, I'm standing up and poking you. Like,
And I'm
I don't-
okay with that.
I have zero respect for people that are like, which I should.
so
It's
you
like,
don't respect me.
no, I respect you. What I'm saying is that like I should have more respect for people's working environments that they require to get a job done. Like some
Yeah.
people need to be very concentrated, but as a
You
social
are
butterfly,
impatient.
like I'm
You
impatient.
get so worked out. Matter of fact, it's one of our
I
questions
interrupt.
here. Is
I'm like, I know it's not a good trait of mine. Like it's something that in the professional world I've worked on, but it is so hard. Like, what do you mean? I think
I actually told you this years ago. Didn't I say like,
Tell me
hey,
what?
like here's something that you could improve on? And you got
Probably.
so ticked off
Because it's
at me.
annoying.
I know. You were like so ticked off.
It's what makes me me.
Okay, well, you being me or you is impacting me.
Not right now. It's not.
Well, yeah, because I don't even know where you are.
That's why you started wearing headphones.
No,
I know, I'm joking.
no. The
People are different.
yeah, no, it's actually on my list of things we're gonna have to find.
It says, what are common things you disagree on?
What are common things we disagree on?
How people should interact in a workplace. No, I'm kidding. I think we actually are very similar in our thought processes there. It's
I
great
think
to
we're
have
pretty
different
similar.
dynamics. I'm glad that the office is more
What common
lively.
things do you disagree on? Like, or what common things?
Speaking of being lively,
I feel like that question's like
we've got it's like a
a
backwards.
double negative.
It
It's like,
is.
what common things do you disagree on? It's like, it should be like,
What
do
if
you
it's
what do
common? Then you
disagree?
agree. You agree on.
Then you agree on
something,
them. What
right?
common things do you agree on?
What common things?
That's such a weird question.
What common things?
Whoever
do
sent
you
that question in, I'm sorry.
disagree on?
I don't even know.
Do you disagree on?
what do you disagree
Like
on?
we both disagree. Like I don't know. I can't even.
We both disagree on the importance of respecting meeting start times. I am much more of a stickler.
No, but we
and
don't-
I apologize when I move a meeting, and I try to reach out. And I'm like, there's a couple of people I do move.
I don't wanna
meetings
talk
or
about this.
I actually cancel meetings now because it's like I get so behind, and I feel bad because I know that person has set aside time for me.
Doesn't matter. I don't want to talk about this. He's gonna sit here and say like I don't come to meetings on time and I don't respect people's time, and that's just not the case.
I actually didn't say that at all. I mean, I was definitely going to say that, but I
That's
haven't
why I'm
said
saying
it.
I don't
so,
want to have the second half of this
oh
conversation.
my gosh! But that's why the question is, what common things do you disagree on?
And we're still disagreeing on it. We don't need to discuss it. Why do people just want us to argue?
I don't know.
It's so weird.
I mean, we don't argue very
No,
often.
I'm joking. It's not a real argument. But what I was going to say, going back to our other topic that
I
we
will
were
tell you,
talking
I was
about.
like, we need snack train in the office, and I need you here because everyone else is sitting there. They're like, oh, poor Chris. He's got to do snack train and everything else.
He means go shopping to refill it.
Yeah.
It's definitely my job.
I feel like, and I feel intense.
what I was
like
gonna
when I
say-
see them all emptying out, I'm like,
You're like, uh-oh, it's happening.
it's happening.
We have a friend that is currently working remote. The corporate office is in California, and they've suggested that this person
move there.
Yeah, that they do a relocation. And the wife was talking to me and saying, like, I just don't know what it looks like if we were to go there and things didn't work out and we wanted to like come back, would they pay for us to move back? Like what kind of
Yeah.
risk are we taking?
No.
And I was like, by the way, I literally said this to her. I was like, the minute your husband is working in the office, he's never going to want to leave. Like there's no such thing of it not working out. Like he's going to love. You can sit there, and there are people, especially now that the hiring is more in person, like those people who are remote, they're so disconnected from what's happening in the office. It's not even funny because of the dynamic that we were just talking about.
You're a product of that environment.
Yeah.
And so, I agree with you 100%. If he goes there and is in the office, they're never going.
They'll never come back. And that's
company.
fine. It's fantastic.
It's a great company.
Yeah, it is.
So
but
I would want them to do that.
The first company that I started working for when I got out of college, they went through, and I know we've got 1 minute left, but they went through this situation where the company didn't have enough funding to get a building big enough for the team members that they needed. So they offered the ability for some people to go and work remote from their homes. This was not remote in different states. This was local. So the majority of the people were there. Now, over the course of the 5 years that these people worked remotely, which was like 10 people. And as the company grew and grew, it was 100, 150. And once we had that many people, it was like, why do we have these 10 people working remote? So they said, if you want to keep your job, you got to come back. And some people had moved away and they were like, I can't, and it was like, we're really sorry, And for the longest time, they didn't do it because they were like, we allowed this to happen. We asked these people, and same with like, we hired these people for a remote position. But the company got to a point where it was like, you know what? You're not part of the same company as we are if you're not in this office.
Right. Yeah.
And so
I don't know if I told you this, but we're working with Janelle at Career Suncoast to hire 6 people.
No.
And train them 1 per month for the next 6 months. We're putting together a program to train cams.
Okay.
Sorry to blow. Hey, and with that, our time's over. Thank you so much. Totally. I'm so glad I blew your mind this last few minutes. Thank you for listening. And you will see the repercussions of that statement next week.
The budgets will see the repercussions.
I know.
Oh, Lord.
Later.
See ya.